Alright guys, sometimes we have even good news coming from the front lines, and today is the day. We have the confirmation from different of the sources that Ukraine is really on attack in Kindrativka village, and not at that point alone. As you may see, there are multiple of the counterattack vectors of Ukrainian armed forces in Sumy region of Ukraine. Russia started their attack there, I would say a couple of months ago, and we see how Russia fails with their Sumy operation miserably. In desperate, they tried to unblock Kindrativka because this village is now being encircled actually by Ukrainian army. Yeah, partially you can see it's in a gray zone, but the actual picture is more terrible for Russia. I can read it from their Telegram channels that they're definitely in desperate here. So you see, aviation is the only way of how they may slow down the Ukrainian offensive or counteroffensive, it's better to say, but Ukraine uses airplanes as well. Well, after all, it is understandable that Russia has more developed aviation compared to Ukrainian army, and they use more bombs as we see, but it's just a temporary solution for them. They cannot have the tactical victory just using infantry forces and aviation bombs. No, it's not possible. They need to use heavy armored vehicles as well, tanks, BMPs. They use sometimes those, but not over here. Mainly they attack with infantry forces only, light motorcycles or all-terrain vehicles maximum. Yeah, in Sumy region, Russia uses army vehicles very rarely. Guys, I take those maps from the Myko Center 3. I want to shout out to this wonderful analytic. I'm not sure how he looks because he is incognito, so wonderful. I mean the product that he is producing to us for free. He's also there on Telegram, Blue Sky X, and he has his own website where you can check out the real map which he presents. He analyzes the drone videos and corrects the situation on the ground. So according to his confirmation and lots of the other confirmations from different analytics, so Ukrainian army is successful in Kindrativka and also not far away from Andriivka. Andriivka, by the way, was liberated by Ukraine maybe a couple of weeks ago. What is also interesting about this map that you may check out. For example, here it is the reference on this image. We see how Ukraine, for example, is using drones against the Russian infantry forces who are hiding in those remains. Or we may check out, for example, this one, also reference to X platform. This is the Russian video of their drones and how they use those against Ukrainian army. Russia hit Ukrainian position in Kindrativka, Sumy. It doesn't mean that this strike is successful, just was registered. And we also have the reference on Telegram. For example, those are the Russian aviation gliding bombs they use in this region, but the same videos or similar videos we have also from Ukrainian side. Like for example this one, this is the Russian headquarters not far away from the area, and this place was kaboom. Yeah, we have some blur here just to hide the information, so it looks like some sort of the small toy field, but actually it's the real thing, which was filmed by the surveillance drone of the 47th Magura Brigade. So yeah, analyzing the stuff, I would say that the destiny for Russia is the same as in the Kharkiv region. They attacked, just has limited success, and were stopped by Ukrainian army. Oh, they use some of the armored vehicle here. It's very rare, I almost do not see that stuff, but we have the confirmation. Ukrainian drone operation, and there is the Russian vehicle over here. It was hit. For combat videos, I usually use my Telegram channel. It is in the video description. Also, if we look at this map, you see lots of the Ukrainian drone strikes deep inside the Russian territory. So yeah, this is the border between Ukraine and Russia. Russian headquarters, barracks. Let's check out. Okay, we have this one, just the position of the Russian army. They were trying to hide there something, and it was hit. It was again mostly Russian infantry. If we move a little to the west to this position, you may see that Ukraine continued to use aviation in Totkino. The battle for this settlement is still ongoing. For Russia, it's very hard to supply their group in Totkino because this road was mainly cut by Ukraine, so they deliver supplies with the help of the drones mainly. Well, I do not expect that they may hold there for a very long time, but it also depends on Ukrainian army actions in this region. So in general, after all, we have more or less good news in the Sumy region. However, if we go to the eastern side of Ukraine, you may see that there are the most intense fights ongoing. And Russia is creating this new vector to advance towards Rodinska, not far away from Mirnograd and Pokrovsk. It is very dangerous for Ukrainian side. There was the big Russian attack recently also spotted in Mykolaiivka. If we go to the north, Russia tried to go to Fedorovka. They went there with this armored vehicle and some of the infantry forces, but it didn't help. I also may see one more MTLB or BMP in this area. Well, anyways, according to that Russian video, Russians went to the local buildings, but later on were finished by Ukrainian FPV drones. So the idea for Russia is to expand this bridgehead near Boykivka, near Fedorovka, take those two villages fully under control. But their main goal is Rodinske, which is located here, a very important crossroad. It also, I think, has the railroad connection, you may say. And Rodinske is the biggest settlement in this area, north from Pokrovsk. So this is what Russia wants to create for the nearby future, for the next 50 days maybe even. But after all, this distance is too large. Also, Ukraine has defense lines, so Russia should advance from Peshana at the same time. But they struggle with it for now. However, if they definitely go to Rodinske, it will create a huge risk for the Ukrainian army group in Mirnograd and Pokrovsk. So that's why Russia made this hump over here, attacking, crossing this highway. It was very dangerous for Ukraine. I told about it long time ago, but Russians already created it. It's the big bridgehead they have, and they use it to threaten really Mirnograd, Pokrovsk, and also Konstantinovka, because from this side they may go to any sort of the direction, also northbound towards Toretsk. From all of the frontline guys, this is the biggest hotspot. Russia concentrated lots of the forces in this location, and they really intensified their attacks, their strikes, and the Ukrainian army has to retreat from many of the positions. My friends, and here I want to share my thanks to Patreon supporters and also members of the channel. Guys, you're doing a fantastic job keeping me motivated to film videos almost every day. Thank you so much for it. If you guys want to support me on Patreon, you'll find the link for my page right in the video description below. Thank you so much for joining. If you don't have the opportunity to support me financially, you may press your like to this video and also subscribe for the channel, because that is how you boost this video in YouTube algorithms. Thank you so much for it as well. And here Ukraine is using some of the rocket artillery systems on the Russian positions. I guess this is the southern part of Ukraine, as it was commented under this video. Russians definitely lost their positions in the local forest. It is happening very often, especially during the summertime, because of the wildfires which could be caused by shells themselves. Wildfires are really terrible, I understand that, but Ukraine has no other choice than to target Russians in their positions, because that is how you save the lives of people. So here Russians are very sad about the case. This is one of the Russian positions few kilometers away from the front lines, where Russians received kind of the strange water. They drank it and they kaputted. Yeah, it was just the water. In those kind of the bottles, they show Nasha voda, so our water. Well, in this case, I'm not sure whether it's their water or not, but the water seems to be poisonous, which led to complete kaput of several of the soldiers in this particular company. And we have the update from the North report showing the current situation in Kondrativka, so the part of the settlement, the bigger part, is being liberated by Ukraine already. Here Russians say in a group that at least 4 people, 200. 200 means kaputted. They found out that the water comes from Crimea, Simferopol, that's the biggest city in Crimea. We even have some of the memes with this Russian water, which they continue to receive, and kaput. There are also surprises for Russians in the local shops. For example, this guy purchased this charger. It didn't work somehow. He opened it and saw this substance. You may try to guess what is inside. So he is damn lucky, I mean, this Russian guy. It seems like that this particular charger was damaged, that's why it didn't kaboom, but usually they kaboom if you have this substance inside. So Russians are shocked that there is some sort of the resistance behind the front lines sometimes happening. And even their own volunteers may deliver something interesting to them. Okay, what is this? This is the Russian Spetsnaz soldier from Temu. Well, it's not always like that, guys. Russians, they also have a nice gear for special units, but in general their army is in lack of the supplies, and they're just been used for several of the occasions, maximum 2 meat waves. That's the survivability of the Russian soldier, of the average one. But again, they have the same gear as Ukrainian soldiers for the special units, who are not used for meat waves, usually.
180 градусов, ебать, товара.
Yeah. This is the huge attack again on the Russian positions. Some artillery fire. It was precise strike, and Russians, I think it was UAZ car, maybe Bukhanka van, or maybe like the small off-road vehicle UAZ. Like for example this one, and the Russians also install the North Korean artillery systems, the small ones, so the vehicle just goes very close to position and fires artillery and run away. It seems like Russia received many of those systems because I see lots of them in Russian videos. But you know, guys, some of the stupid brainwashed people like Russia so much that they want to move there and moreover serve in the Russian army. As this family of Hoffman, so they have 3 of the kids, 3 girls. They moved to Russia from Texas, United States of America, because of the good values, traditional values, let's say, in Russia. So Donald Trump's traditional values are not okay for them. They need hardcore ones. Well, it seems like they have those on a full scale, especially head of the family Derek, who is now who was sent to the front lines, despite promise for him personally to stay behind the front lines. But Russia doesn't care. American, okay, go and fight. We don't care. You went to the Russian army personally, voluntarily, so go and fight. And we have the confirmation about his destiny from his wife. She recorded the video. It is open, like, you know, I just censored the kids' faces because, yeah, this is punishment for kids really to move to Russia. I hope they understand that their parents did a huge mistake. I'm choosing the words, proper words, and they decide to move back to the United States of America. So this video Derek posted 1 month ago, and yeah, they have their own YouTube channel.
Very happy to get to send you this video, let you see my face, see I'm doing well, probably see I've lost a few pounds.
Derek, why did you lost your weight? What forced you? And actually he is somewhere, I would say, behind the front lines 100%, judging on his uniform, which is not even dirty. So probably he's in a training camp, or was by the time, 1 month ago.
I miss y'all more than you can imagine, and I can't wait to see you. Hopefully I get a vacation at some point. And
already dreaming about vacation? Come on, Derek, you just joined the Russian army.
Get to come home, spend a couple of weeks with you, but man, you're on my mind 24/7. And
so why did you leave to the Russian army? You are in my mind 24/7. All right. So why did you leave your family? Why did you move to Russia at first? Like, it's complete brainwash. They are delusional. It's the cult, you know? Complete brainwash.
And just know that what I'm doing is important to me and important for our family.
Yeah, of course. Even freaking Russians are going to the Russian army for money. It is their biggest motivation. They want money. And if you ask Russians, like average Russian, 90 with something % would tell you that it's better to move to Texas. Even those Russians who vote for Putin, they would love to live in Texas. That's the strange part of the Russian philosophy.
And I will do whatever it takes to be safe and to come home to you and take care of each other.
And yeah, Ukraine obviously will do whatever it takes for you not to come back. And this guy is not young, like he is in his some middle ages, I call it. In his 40s, I would say close to 50s, and he decided to abandon his family, like 3 of the kids, girls who really need support. He went to Russian army. And what will happen to those girls? Like Russian army and Russia itself, they don't care about families. Like they will receive just compensation, maybe a few million rubles, but they will not live their entire life on those funds. So there is no support. There is no husband in the family, no father, and like it's almost 99% that he will be gone in Ukraine if they really send him to the front lines. And according to his wife, definitely they send him to fight. So what's the point? He's a traitor, traitor of his country, traitor of his family and of himself. He's a dumb fuck. I don't have other words to characterize this guy. It's the dumbest thing I saw ever. There are some of the families out there who moved to Russia, but they stay in Russia like in civilian life. Yeah, maybe they support the Russian army or something, but they're not willing to serve in the Russian army. This guy went all in, deep into the shit fully, and he will have the logical outcome. And yeah, here we have the update from Derek's wife. Thanks for subtitles for Gerashenko. Even though this video is in English, let's listen. The update from the front lines.
Wanted to share a little bit about what's going on with Derek. When he signed up and had all of that done, he was told he would not be training for 2 weeks and going straight to the front lines. But it seems as though he's getting 1 more week of training and closer to the front lines, and then they are going to put him on the front lines. So we are all praying really hard that he could actually be utilized for his skills and not just be put as a fighter. He signed up in Nizhny to...
So you understand, yeah? He was told that he was not going to be sent to the front lines, but he is going on a training close to the front lines and will be sent to the mid-wave attack somewhere in Ukraine. Oh my god. Like, the... Alright.
Get less money because he was told they would have more control. At first they were trying to petition that he would be able to be more like news reporter, but like in the military, and being able to just like report what's going on. And just be able to like tell the world what's happening.
Okay, the idea was to use him as the propaganda in the Russian propaganda machine. So he went to the Russian army, he signed the contract. They promised him probably to keep on that position, but instead, no. Well, something went absolutely not according to their plan. Well, at first I thought that this guy just wanted to stay somewhere in a command headquarters behind the front line, you know, to be more or less safe. Maybe join some sort of the Shahid drone squadron to launch Shahid drones on Ukrainian civilians. That's probably their dream. But instead, you see the story. Wow, this is so cool. I mean, the karma behind it. It's superb, really. Oh my god, I cannot even speak. Ooh, this is so cringe. They now have the financial issue because guy, he haven't received a penny or a coin or a ruble from the Russian army. He was sent on the training. He's up to be sent on the front line, and he has not yet received any sort of the funds which Russia usually promises, because they took him as some sort of the volunteer journalist, not the fighter, but they sent him to fight. Wow, this is, you may call this funny, but at the same time it's like tragic, because they are just fools, outstandingly dumb people, and I'm really sad about their kids. So that's the most like bad part of the story. But for her and for Derek, they took their kids from safety. They went to Russian army and they wanted to unalive Ukrainians. Well, the only road for them is to hell.
Happening from his perspective and what he's seeing, and that was denied. So after the wait for all that, they then said that they would be able to put him in like a repair battalion because of his 10+ years in welding and the experience for that. So he would actually be able to do that, and he would have the control to be able to be in a safer environment. But
okay, so he wanted to be some sort of the military blogger on the front line to join a repair battalion because he had the experience. All right, I understand that. So they want to be in a safer environment, but to serve in the Russian army, which is doing the terrible stuff in Ukraine. Okay, I understand that. They are war criminals now, but doesn't seem like that is happening.
doesn't seem like that's happening.
Okay.
And the foreigners unit is still being taught in Russian, and he doesn't understand Russian very well, so he's kind of struggling a little bit.
Foreign Legion Russian Foreign Legion. They have many people coming, mostly from Asian countries, some people from Africa, Central Asian countries. And Russian instructors still hesitate to learn English, to teach them, because English is more or less international language for everyone. Well, at least you know a few of the words, because English is the subject in majority of the countries, but still, yeah, that's the whole Russian army, I would say. Wow, guys, that's the opening.
With that, and not getting really any training, because unfortunately, when you're taught in a different language and you don't understand the language, how are you really getting taught? You're not. So, unfortunately, he feels like he's being thrown to the wolves right now. We are petitioning some public figures to hopefully help in politics and be able to make it to where he can be put where he could be used more efficiently.
Yeah, absolutely. Russian politician figures, they don't care. They don't care even about their own patriots. Maximum, they'll film you for the Russian TV channel, Russia Today report, but still, it's very hard will be for you to get out from the Russian army alive. For you, I mean, for Derek, fuck. This is crazy, guys, and now probably they understand that maybe Texas was the better place, but they have something with their head, like the roof is out there somewhere. They're not present. They're like those aliens who suck the conspiracy theories from Tucker Carlson channel or something like that, which replaced their brain completely. This, guys, it's actually very important to fight this bullshit which is coming from that camp, like Tucker Carlson and other influencers, because they brainwash people and people go to Russia and fight. And in this case, I'm laughing about it, but actually the guy could go to the front lines and maybe he may unalive some of the Ukrainians, who knows. So actually the situation is not profitable for us, but at the same time it shows the reality in the Russian army, so it's anti-advertisement of Russian army at the same time. So very happy that she filmed this video, so I'm gonna use their propaganda against them.
He also messaged me that basically $100, 100 with 2 zeros. Sorry, I'll put the comment up.
Alright, this is interesting. Love you, we all had to give the unit 10,000 rubkis, rubles, for supplies. Oh my god. Oh, I have 1,400 rubles left. Once money shows up from a salary, send like 5,000. Oh shit. Yeah, guys, sorry for my reaction in this video. This is astonishing. Like, it is unbelievable. And those figures are real. This information is real. It is coming from her wife. She shows the real screenshots. Oh my. Oh my. Guys, it is even hard for me to comprehend of what happened to the guy. Like, what was the reason? Like, what drove him into this situation? Definitely it's the cult. They put everything aside. Even his own personal security was cancelled. It's like complete, total brainwash. And this is the situation in the Russian army. So they have to spend their funds, which he was not paid by Russian army. So Russian army just cannot provide supplies, it seems like, for soldiers, and they have to spend their own money, which usually Russia pays, but not in this case. I have 1,400. Oh my god, this is roughly $17 left with him, not 70, 17, something like that, and he asks her for sending more, up to $60 to him. And yeah, 10,000 is not 100, it's 120 now, something like that. But it doesn't really matter, because you understand the situation and those figures. And this is not the fake, like, it's not the screenshot from Gerashchenko. No, he put the subtitles here. This lady, wife of this guy, she posted this screenshot. Yeah, this is outstanding. The video comes to an end. Let's go.
So he's needing money, and I can't send him money right now because we have not received any payment yet.
He called for 5,000 rubles, $60 roughly, and she doesn't have that to send to her husband. The husband is on the front lines. And that tells a lot about the life in Russia. So you have so-called traditional values, right? Which is absolute fake. And you don't have money at freaking all. At all. You don't have money. This is hilarious.
He has been gone for a month and he hasn't received anything. Not a bonus, not nothing. He's received nothing. Apparently,
So she said the bonus takes usually 2 months. He went 1 month ago. We saw the video of him filming himself somewhere in a training camp indeed. So indeed they're waiting for some of the money coming from the Russian army. Guys, this case is hilarious.
paying for supplies. Or helping
Apparently,
to
yeah.
pay for supplies.
He's paying for supplies. Helping to pay for supplies.
I was unsure because I was never told one way or the other about supplies. I was told, however, some of them don't like the food that they're given and they're able.
Really? You don't like the food the Russian army gives you? Why? It's the best army in the world, like the second one at least. They should have the best food possible.
Or buy cigarettes or whatever.
Cigarettes? Are you for traditional values? Cigarettes are haram. Guys, I don't know about you, but I was really surprised recording this video. Yeah, I knew about the story before, like some information coming, like some people shared videos like this with me, but I didn't know some of the details, let's say, of the story. I thought that it's not that bad, but it is terrible. Terrible, especially for those 3 young girls who went with their crazy, brainwashed parents, cult parents to Russia. And the problem here that in Russia, even American officials, they cannot intervene into this process, I think, and they cannot take those girls out from Russia any longer. There's no way. That's the worst thing. And yeah, Ukrainian army will cancel Derek if he goes to the front lines. I'm 100% sure about it, because he doesn't have, from what I understood, the fighting experience there. He's welder, ex-welder. He wanted to join the Russian repair battalion, but something went wrong, and now there is the tremendous risk for Derek, for broke Derek. Oh my god. Maybe they joined the Russian army really because YouTube doesn't pay in Russia. They have the small YouTube channel. Well, the main reason could be like they need lots of the money, and Russia pays millions of rubles at once, and they're still waiting for those funds. Wow, this is outstanding. Absolutely. But what's about Putin? Well, Putin arrived to the Magnitogorsk metal factory. This is the Putin's cortege, so many of the vehicles, as you may see. Dozens of the vehicles out there. You don't know where Putin sits, maybe in the bus, maybe in a small vehicle like this. Ours, yeah, this is ours, probably with Putin, probably not. No one knows. The interesting thing that in Magnitogorsk, before Putin's visit, they welded those hatches on the road just to avoid possible sabotage. Or maybe they're just afraid of the Ukrainian spiderweb operations, that drones may start to fly from those kind of the hatches even. It was done almost elsewhere in the city. Crazy. So today is the day of the Russian metallurg, so those who work in the Russian metal facilities, factories, industry, the metal producing industry of Russia. It was the reason for Putin to attend one of those places. So Putin congratulated everyone. Look how good our steel really is. Our production is the best. Our industry is rolling towards prosperity. But in fact, guys, the prosperity is not there at all. According to the head of the Severstal, it's the biggest Russian corporation of the steel production, the industry is struggling. So Russian steel executive rings alarm bells for a struggling industry. At the same time, Putin is there. Hey, happy steel day for you Russians. Our economy is going down, but for you, from TV at least, it is going up. I call it a negative growth. And by the way, it's the fresh article, like dated less than a month ago, June 19th, 2025, and Russian economy itself is in stagnation or stagflation, is better to say. The only thing which is keeping the Russian economy floating are the purchases of the Russian fossil fuels from many of the countries, especially India and China. Well, hopefully at least India will be pressed by United States, because India is very dependent on the United States of America, to purchase less of the Russian oil. Orban again saying that Europe drains money to Ukraine and Brussels must be stopped. Orban, just leave Brussels, come on, leave European Union. Make a referendum, you know, you like those referendums. Let Hungarians vote if they really do support your policy. Vote out, that's it. Finish the story with European Union. But instead, you're just the pain in the ass of the European Union, dragging all of the normal policy back. He is behaving like the gardener of the Russian oblast, which is placed on territory of EU, but Orban, with those kind of the messages, he shows that he is panicking. Jabba Hutt is afraid. On Antonov 124, Ruslan, which took off from Svetoshina airfield just recently. I showed it in my video, so here we have the video filmed from the ground about this particular airplane. It went through maintenance, upgrade, and yeah, took off from Svetoshina. It's not Gostomel airfield, so the runway is fine. Here it's on the territory of Kiev, actually Svetoshina. Yeah, fantastic, huge machine. Flying to the skies. Russians, by the way, are very disappointed about it because they hit Kiev a lot, but still this aircraft was staying there open air and they didn't hit it, mainly because of the Ukrainian air defense, and now the airplane will be used by Ukrainian army to deliver goods for Ukrainian army. Army has contracts with Antonov to deliver very interesting goods, usually from USA to Europe to Poland, and later on with the rail transport trains to Ukraine. Well guys, and now please don't forget to press your huge like to this video. By doing so you help me a lot, and also subscribe for the channel. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.